Hey Booktube, this is Kelly. Thank you so much for watching my channel, Books I'm Not Reading. There's some new people who have joined us. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate it. If you're new to my channel and you've never left a comment before, I hope that you'll say hello down in the comment section. If you don't feel comfortable with that, you could leave an emoji or give this video a thumbs up so I know that you're here. But thank you so much. I'm really glad that you somehow found my channel. So this is a belated Friday Reads video, and I really don't have a whole lot else to say that I didn't say last Friday. I'm still reading Time Was Soft There, a Parish Sojourn, at Shakespeare and Company by Jeremy Mercer. And I'm reading this for Taking Tea with Catherine's reading about books in January. And for some reason, even though I've been very successful in the past, I've read a lot of books about books, but the two that I chose really have not talked about books that much, which is just a bit baffling. I'm still really enjoying this book, don't get me wrong, but I am sort of, this is much more about like the people in the bookstore than it is about the books that are there or that sort of thing. And I'll talk more about it when I do finish it. I've got a little more than 100 pages to go, so hopefully in the next week I will have this one done. But yeah, I just feel like I have not really met the challenge of reading books about books. With both my fiction and my nonfiction choice, but nonetheless, I have enjoyed it, and it's been a great event. So glad to be participating in that. I'm reading another book right now. I'm just not quite ready to talk to you guys about it until I'm done, and so we'll get there hopefully next weekend. And I'm also woefully behind in Shakespeare for every day of the year, so I'd like to get caught up with this weekend as well, because if you fall too far behind on these every day of the year books, yes, it can be very overwhelming. Today, I thought what I would do is share with you some books that I love, and I realize I don't talk about on my channel very much, if at all, and I don't. Or if I've talked about them, it was back when there was just 25 of you out there. So yeah, I thought I'd share some favorite books, some books I love. And again, I just realized recently, I'm like, God, I never talk about that book. And these are great, some really, really great books. And some of them you will be extremely familiar with, like Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. Now, ironically, so Friday was my 16th wedding anniversary. Thank you so much to all of you who have wished Jason and I the best on a happy anniversary on my community page. But I did not read this book until after we had seen the BBC miniseries, which came out on our first year anniversary. We went out to dinner at this beautiful restaurant overlooking the river in Missoula, Montana, and came home in time for the miniseries to start. And I just did not want to watch it. I was tired, and that sort of thing. And yeah, but 15 minutes in, I was just totally sucked into this story about this young seemingly orphaned governess, yeah, loved, just was completely captivated by it. So I'm pretty sure after the miniseries was done, this was the next book that I picked up. I'm not crazy about our cover, but this is the one Jason bought, so whatever. The story is wonderful. So another book that I love, this is nonfiction, and this is My Life in France by Julia Child. And Julia Child, I mean, she's such a character anyway. This is top notch. This is a 5-star book for me. It's so interesting. It feels like reading a novel. there were times where I was laughing out loud, which again, like, I think that's hard for a book to do. But yeah, there's some really, really funny stories in here. I love her marriage, the story of her marriage. They were just so devoted to each other and just such champions of each other. And so yeah, this is a great, great book. Now, I know we've talked a little bit more recently about this author and also my kind of, you know, the things that my triggers, right? Like, so again, I think you've seen already that I have a thing for books about Paris and books about France. I also have a thing for horse books, and Jane Smiley has written, I think 3 now. So this is Horse Heaven. This is a novel. And then she also wrote A Year at the Races. Let's see, Reflections on Horses, Humans, Love, Money, and Luck. I think I've read this, but I don't really remember it very well. But this one, I mean, it has a cast of characters, including all of the horses at the beginning of the book. And there's also... oh my gosh. And Jason, it just still cracks Jason up when I do this. So, there is a rap singer in this book. There's so many characters. It's just all the different, like, people who would be involved in horse racing, like, from the people who own the horses, people betting on the horses themselves. But anyway, so there's a rap singer in here. And his name is Ho Ho Ice Chill. But for some reason, I just got stuck on calling him like no, not even that. It was like Ice Chili Ho Ho. Like, I think that's what I started calling him. I don't know why. Because it's very backwards from the actual character's name. But anyway, so again, another Jane Smiley book. I think I've read at least 3 books by her now, because she did, of course, write a Pulitzer winner, 1,000 Acres, so, which is basically King Lear set in Iowa. But I do want to come back to this, and definitely Year at the Races as well. So I think I've read four of her books, and she's just a tremendous author. Now, this next author I actually get to meet. This is Truck, a Love Story by Michael Perry, and it's a little deceiving. I actually, oh God, I had to tell our local library that this is not a novel, it's nonfiction. And I don't know if that hurt the book getting checked out or not, but anyway, I was just like, it's nonfiction, people. It's not. It's about Michael Perry and this little small town that he lives in, I think it's Wisconsin. Yeah, rural Wisconsin. And this old truck that he's trying to repair, but just also just like small town Wisconsin life, and it's told in a really genuine, funny, bittersweet. I mean, there's definitely like some tragic moments in the book as well, but it's a great story. I mean, and believe me, I'm like the last person like to check out a book called Truck, but this book was really championed by independent bookstores in America, and that's why it's, you know, a PS edition now. And he's got a lot of other books. I think at this point he had already written, oh my gosh, maybe this is his debut. I thought before he had written. There's one that's like Population 435, and again, that's very kind of vignettes. I have another book by him called Coop, and he's married with children, and they're just kind of trying to live off of their farm, you know. And when we saw Michael Perry, we saw him actually in Missoula. He came to Missoula and spoke to a crowd that was just far too small for an author of, you know, with his talent. But he was almost in tears at one point with gratitude for people buying his books, and he was like, "This is what keeps my family, and this is what supports us." And so, like, He was very, very genuine, very real, and this book shows that in such a great way. Again, another book that managed to make me just laugh out loud, and I love it. I absolutely love it. So it's a fantastic book. Another one is The English Patient, excuse me, by Michael Ondaatje. When Jason went to the Golden Booker Prize in London back in, oh my God, what year was that? I don't even remember. Anyway, years. Jason was like, you know, going to the arrivals gate, and there was somebody at the bottom who was holding up a sign for Michael Ondaatje, and Jason took a picture of it. But anyway, because this book won the Booker, and of course was made into like a Best Picture film, but this book, the writing in it is so good. I mean, it's a tiny thing, but like every sentence is just loaded with just incredible prose. You know, lime bowers, like turning the light underneath it to this like pale green, and oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. It's a really heartbreaking story, but it's really, really fantastic. And again, I'm like, do I ever talk about The English Patient? I don't know. You guys can tell me in the comment section if you're like, Kelly, we've seen all of these books on your channel before. Finally, the last one, and this is a Pulitzer winner, is Good Scent from a Strange Mountain by Robert Olen Butler. And this is a short story collection. And again, you know, it's not a huge book, but it definitely packs a punch. And this is about primarily about Vietnamese refugees moving to America, and what that experience was like. I think some of the stories do take place maybe still in Vietnam or in like a refugee camp. But I definitely remember the parts, the stories that took place in America. And I really, you know, of course, I do love Tim O'Brien's The Things They Carried, which is about Vietnam. And I would say to some extent, all of Tim O'Brien's books have to do with Vietnam. But this one is an excellent short story collection. I really recommend it. So if it's something that you're looking for. So there's some books I love that I feel like I have not given enough attention to on my channel. Tell me what you think down below in the comment section. What you're reading this weekend. Again, if you want, just say hi. I hope you guys are all doing well and staying safe. Remember, Booktube, to be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.